get with you, baby, tonight. I don't wanna love, I don't wanna fight. I don't wanna have to tell you all the things I know. I don't wanna stay, but I don't wanna go. I don't wanna be the lover in your arms. I don't wanna be the one to keep you from home. I don't wanna be the crooked person in your heart. I don't wanna start, but I don't wanna start. Part-time love, how we suffer now. And I don't wanna waste no more of your precious time. I don't wanna say that everything will be fine. I don't wanna feel your tears on my skin. I'm a coward, baby, don't let me in. Part-time love, how we suffer now. So I don't wanna sit in and get with you, baby, tonight. I don't wanna love, I don't wanna fight. I don't wanna have to tell you all the things I know. I don't wanna stay, but I don't wanna go. I am a poor wayfaring stranger, traveling through this world of war. There is no sickness, toil nor danger in that bright land to which I go. I'm going there to see my mother. I'm going there, no more to roam. I'm just going over Jordan. I'm just going, oh, are rough and steep, but golden feet stretch out before me, where weary eyes no more will meet. I'm going there to see my father. I'm going hush, little darling, don't say a word. I'm gonna buy you a mockingbird. Say, darling, say. And if that mockingbird don't sing, I'm gonna buy you a diamond ring. Yes, and I know that diamond ring. Yes, I know that diamond ring is gonna shine. Darling, if you'll marry me, I'll buy you a house with a big oak tree. Say, darling, say, we'll live in the house with the big oak tree. 3 little babies on your knee. Yes, and I know that diamond ring. Yes, I know that diamond ring is gonna shine. So hush, little darling, don't say a word. I'm gonna buy you a mockingbird.
Good day, this is Thumbs United. We're doing our Let's Play. No, not Let's Play. Lies! We are doing a creative stream for Flotations. We're finishing up the Project Park series. Not the whole thing, just the 3D and fixed view VR. And so this is the last one for 3D and fixed view. Fixed view VR just means you're watching a video in VR goggles, and it is actually in 3D, so you're watching a 3D movie in VR. And then what we're going to do after this, after we finish this project, because it shouldn't take too long. It's a relatively short one. It's about 18 minutes. The other ones have been around 20 or 23 minutes. So that 3 minutes makes a big difference. But this should take us like maybe an hour and 20 minutes to do. And after that, we are going to set up the project for the VR with head tracking. And that's also in 3D, but that it's a 180-degree video where you look left, you see the things on the left, you look right, you see things on the right. But if you look behind you, there's nothing. It's just everything's in front of you. So there is some head tracking, and it's kind of a lie because the camera, it's not 180 degrees, it's 122 degrees. So we're missing a few degrees, but it still works out well. So what we're going to do is we're going to set up this project. I kind of learned from the past stream that if we set up everything ahead of time, it moves a lot faster instead of doing it one at a time. So the first thing is setting everything up. So here we go. Let's see, I'm adding the animation layer. And this just tells Blender that I want to animate the layer I'm linking it to, which the purple is the photographed image layer, and then the green is the part that I animate, and that will animate the photo and everything. So the majority of these, well, not majority, but half the 3D is shot with the GoPro Hero 2, which takes 11 megapixel photos, but then the other photos are taken with the JVC Invero 3D camera, and those ones are 1080p. And there's advantages and disadvantages to both. The JVC has a telephoto lens, so you can be farther away and still get depth and everything. The GoPro is extremely wide angle, so it's kind of like the shotgun of cameras. You just aim in the general direction, and you have like a 99% chance you'll get what you want in the frame. So those are like the advantages. The disadvantage is the JVC camera only shoots HD, so you can't zoom in and zoom out a lot, which is what we're going to be doing then. That's like the big thing with Photations, is it is photographic animations. So animating photographs and making animated slideshows is like the mainstay of what it does. So now what we're going to do is we're going to add the adjustment layer, and I'm going to use this later to add the color grade. So I'm just going to go through, we're going to find images of similar exposure and coloring, and then the adjustment layer, doing it that way, I only have to do the color grade for like a set of 3 photographs instead of having to do each photograph individually. And that layers over the animation, which I'm going to do. So I'm just, if I can press the right buttons. So that one's just going to be one. And I could, like if it's only going to be one image, I could just not put an adjustment layer. But I do that just to keep things well organized. I know that all the color grades are going to be in the adjustment layer. I'm moving much faster tonight. Like right before this, I started going cross-eyed, and I was like, should I be streaming if I'm going cross-eyed? But I've noticed that once I start, I get like a little burst of energy. So I streamed a creative stream in the morning, pretty good. Got a lot done. We did 2 episodes of Project Park for 3D. And, I'm happy with that progress. I want to get all the edits done by Friday. And then after that, I can do the music. And I still haven't decided if I'm doing voiceover or if there's going to be a script. There probably is. I've noticed that on the YouTube channel and on Twitch, the content with narration and history and stories do better. I think just avant-garde photography, animation, and music alone. So that's going to take a little bit of work because I have a lot of scripts I have to write. I have to write story time, which I've done all the research for. But I also have to do Project Newfoundland episode 5 and get that to Patreon. And then so there's a lot of writing I have to do. I've been focusing mainly on editing for the past couple of weeks, and then with finishing up my degree, that took a long time. Oh my goodness, we found a duplicate. Thank goodness we found this before we edited the animation, because it's really difficult to shift the animation once you create it. And like if it was just one animation, it'd be easy to shift. But because there's going to be so many, you have to mess around with like all the keyframes and everything. That's a real pain. Okay, so this was in the greenhouse. Now we're going to the lily pads. Here, the lily pads, they're outdoors. It was so hot that day. It was like 90 degrees and extremely high humidity. Like people complain, oh, California's so hot. It's like 110. California is not hot. 110 in dry weather is like, that's easy to deal with. But high humidity is just the worst. Like 80 degrees is too hot. And we're about halfway through setting up the project. All of these photos are kind of unique exposures and coloring. That I think the color grading is going to take a little longer than the other ones. And the footage is more intermingled with GoPro and the JVC. So I usually have to edit the GoPro footage. And that's just because there's less GoPro footage than the JVC. And so it's easier to edit the GoPro footage to look like the JVC camera than it is to make all the JVC cameras, all the JVC images look like the GoPro images. Now another way you can tell this is a GoPro image is this is in a 4:3 ratio with the pillar boxes. the JVC only shoots in 16:9. So we only have about 4 minutes. Well, 3 of them, I guess. We're almost done. I'm not going to be able to do a creative stream in the morning. I'll do one in the afternoon, but there will be a Mass Effect marathon of Mass Effect 2, so episodes 1 through 7, I think, or it might be 8. I think it's 8. Yeah, we're blowing through them pretty quickly. Okay, so I put on auto keying, and now we get to the animation. I had to make this a little bit bigger so I can see the settings. Okay, and we're getting comfortable. There we go. My keyboard, something was going on. Okay, so here we go. We ordered food from the store, and so we order online, and then I'm already making mistakes. We order online, and then we pick it up at the store. And there's this really nice guy who's autistic, and he's so polite and nice, and I'm like, he gives me hope. But it's just funny because he's nicer than most of the people we encounter at the store. And so this time the guy we usually get, he came out and brought us the cart, but he came out with the manager, and the guy said, here's your food, thank you. Not the manager, the guy with autism. And then the manager didn't say one word. He just kind of stared at us, and like he's talked to us before, but it was just like, it was really weird. And and then I said thank you, and the other guy, the autistic kid, was like, have a nice day, and just like so polite. So the photos that are already in 16:9, I can't zoom in a lot because any zooming brings the pixel ratio to under 1:1, so it gets less resolution than HD. And then the other thing is so I can't zoom in that much. I don't have a lot of wiggle room. And then because it's already in 16:9, I don't have to edit the starting keyframe like I do like I do when with the other I don't know why I'm having such a hard time with this image. There we go. So we're about 3 minutes in for the project, not actual time. And these ones I can zoom in a little more because it's wide angle for one thing, and so you can zoom in a lot more with 3D and a wide angle versus a telephoto. You don't really want to shoot a lot of telephoto, like extreme far away stuff in 3D, because that will end up hurting the eyes. Because there's such a big difference between the left camera and the right camera. Making mistakes. Here we go. So I'm applying the VR projections / distortions to the 180-degree photos, and it's going faster than I thought. Kind of based on my calculations, it's going to take about 36 hours to do. So it's already been 24, and it's about 3/4 of the way done. So it should be done by tomorrow, sometime around 1 or 2 p.m. And so that's good. I thought it would take a lot longer. I thought it'd take like 3 or 4 days. And so it's doing the left eye, and so then it's going to have to do it again for the right eye. So that will take another 1.5 days. Like a solid 1.5 days. And then it will be done. I'll be able to render all the VR projects and everything for not just this project, for not just for Project Park, but also for all the VR for the New York project. That's part of the reason why there's 757 photos, is because the majority of them are for the New York project. So I'm kind of working on the projects simultaneously. I'm taking a little break from the New York project just because this Project Park series is there's less to do. And so I'm gonna try to finish this project, not this project, the whole project park, and then have that start rendering, and then I'll be free to edit the New York project while Project Park is rendering. And so it's kind of, I'm just overlapping the production because I'm nowhere close to even thinking about rendering for the New York project. I mean, I'm still at the point where I'm just combining video with with the photography. And once I start locking down the actual like editing down the video and everything, instead of just sorting it, once I get that locked down, and then I can start doing the animation for that, and then I start doing research. So we're a long way from that happening because I want every episode, locked down before I start writing, and it's gonna be huge. With the VR alone, that's gonna be about maybe 15 to 20 episodes, 20 minutes each, and then the 4K. I forgot how many episodes it is, but it's a lot. And so then there is some 3D stuff. So we're over halfway through, even though I'm a little bit tired. It's been going a lot faster than I thought. I've only been streaming for like 30 minutes. I have to take my grandmother to the doctor tomorrow. Nothing extreme. She gets a doctor visit every month, and if something happens where she needs the doctor, we schedule it sooner. So hopefully everything comes back okay. We've been struggling with her weight. She complains about eating all the time, like refuses to eat. And so it's been difficult giving her meals and everything. But the past 3 or 4 days, it's been really hard to get her to eat. She just it's not like it's a stomach issue or anything. Like I said before, I think it's kind of an eating disorder. So we went to go pick up the groceries, and then we drove to Del Taco, which is like a treat for us because there's only like 3 Del Tacos in Michigan. Before there was only one, and it was in Ohio. And we don't go to Ohio. That's not true. When we go to Pennsylvania, we have to drive through Ohio. But and then so we get to Del Taco and we order her. Usually she just gets 3 tacos, but we got her this kind of meal that was beans and rice and 2 tacos. And so I put it down in front of her. Instantly started her complaining she can't eat, she doesn't want to look at it, and she starts pushing it away. And she's like, come on, you have to eat. And so the whole time she just watched us eating, and my mom and I tried to convince her to eat. She's like, nope, not eating. So we brought it back, and I mean, she'll eat tomorrow, but still, it's just like she can't be skipping meals, you know? And so we're trying all kinds of tricks. One, we're giving her a lot of extra food, and we're having her eat snacks and everything. And then we have these protein shakes, and they're like organic and everything, and like high in protein. And so we give her those with meals to help her gain the weight. And then the last time we went to the doctor's office, we were so happy because after all this work and convincing her to eat all the time, I mean, it's like every meal, we have to, you know, kind of beg her to eat. And we finally got her up like 2 or 3 pounds. It was like, one, we were glad her weight is finally going up, but after all that, it was just like, it only went up, you know, 2 pounds. So she's getting better. Well, like I said, just today and yesterday, she's been complaining about food more than usual. So we're getting pretty close to being done with the animation. And I'm going to do a sample render, but offline, to make sure all the animations look good and all the keyframes are in the right place. You know, I thought this was going to be the most complicated project, but it's pretty easy so far. this is the last one. So we're going to make sure to save it. And now you start color grading. And so you can see everything up here. That's what has to be corrected. And there's not, like most of them are kind of, there's not a lot of unique photographs I have to do. It's a little more than usual, but not a lot. So with this one, I'm brightening it and increasing the contrast at the same time. I'm going to do the same for here because it's harsh light, and so the cameras were kind of compensating for this really harsh lighting, and so the dark things are actually underexposed. So we're already 3 minutes into the project, which is pretty good. What I've noticed is the GoPro footage is very similar in terms of color to the JVC in this project. So that's good because that will save us some time doing the coloring. I don't have to do the white balance. My experience at Del Taco, much better this time. A while ago I was talking about we went in at 9:30 and we stood in line till about 9:40, and it was a madhouse. I mean, there was only 3 people in front of us, but behind the counter everyone was like losing their mind. And it was just not a good experience. And it wasn't the cashier or the people or the cooks or anything. It was the manager mainly. So when we got up, we go to give them our coupon, because my mom fills out these surveys and they give us a coupon for a free burrito or whatever. And we give them the coupon, and the cashier's like, I'm not sure what to do, so she gets the manager, and the manager's like berating her. She's like, it's so simple, all you have to do is this, why didn't you do that? You know, she's like, just do what it says. And it was like, wow, you know, right in front of us. So that was like intense. And then so we're eating, and the place closes, and they let you eat in there once it closes. They just lock the door so that other people don't come in. And then so we're eating, and the cook yells, you know, is anyone in this building? And then the person who was the cashier is sweeping up, and she's like, yes, there are people still in. And then the cook yells again. 2 minutes later, are there still people in here? and the cashier that was sweeping up was like, yes, there people are still in here. And then again, I kid you not, another 2 minutes later, the cook asks again. And the person sweeping was just like, yes, there are still people in here. And I was like, oh my goodness, we have to get out of here. And then after that, it was like a comedy, but it was like really, stressful. Then the manager yells, is there anyone in here? So not the cook, the manager this time. It was just like, if you guys would just talk to each other, we're still in there. And so then the manager's yelling, are people still in there? Just like, talk to the cook. She asked that question like 7 times in a row. So yeah, I'm very lucky with this. It's very, very similar. The GoPro and the Okay, we're like done. Virtually done. This is like the only one I had to adjust the white balance to. And last one. Okay, and that's it. That is it. So I'm going to take a short break. I'm going to set up the VR project. And I'll be right back. Okay, so this is the VR photographs. They don't have the VR formatting done. They're currently on the Linux box slash server, and they're being completed there. But when I submit this to render on the Linux box slash server, it will use the VR versions. And so instead of going frame by frame to create each frame in the VR format, what I did was having all the images converted to the VR format. Then what is the word? Then when it renders, it's just going to render it like a regular image, but everything's already going to be in VR, and so that will help speed up the rendering time like exponentially. So instead of instead of having to render in VR 106,000 photos in VR, it only has to do 757, and it's not even that many because this isn't all 700. It's just not that much. So I'm gonna take a look and make sure they're all the right time. I wanted 40 seconds. So yeah, that's 40 seconds. So that gives you a chance to look around and everything. I don't know why the coloring looks... There, it looks better now. Okay, so now what we're going to do is kind of what we did earlier on in the other projects. We're going to group images based on location and subject. And so it will be easier because we're not going to intermingle any JVC footage. So it should only take like 40 minutes, 40 or 30 minutes to do. So we're going to go through and find all the forest ones first. And where? Okay, so I'm going to include the greenhouses as a forest. I'm just raising it up a layer so I know to come back to it. And then this is the other section of forest. I'm going to about there, because then it starts to become a flower garden, which is something else different group I'm gonna put. That's all forest. And again, we're going to try to get it to be episodes of 20 minutes. So this forest episode might be too long already. And so it's about an hour. So we should get 3 episodes out of this. Slide that all down. Okay, so the next section we're going to do is outdoor flowers. Just all the flowers that are outdoors. So there should be a few over here. Okay, so this is 12 to 20, so that's 8 minutes. So we need something like so we'll add the bonsais. Oh no, you know what, we're not going to add the bonsais because there's only 2. We'll add the lily pads. Those are outdoor, not flowers, but okay, so it's 20 to 25. So that's 6 plus, and that's 8 plus 5 is that's like 13 minutes. So we still need a little more. And get this out of the way. Slide them all down. I guess we'll include topiaries. Okay. So now it's 3 minutes to 19 minutes. It's 16 minutes long. I would really like it to be like 21, 22 minutes. So I'll add the fountains. So it's just going to be a general outdoor, not just outdoor flowers. Okay, so 2 minutes, 21 minutes, so that's like 19 minutes. We're almost done with that section. I guess we're gonna have to be done with that. So this is another episode. So this is the first episode. This is the second one. Next, we're gonna look for all architecture and photography and the organs. And this is all the architecture section. And we're coming up short. It's 34 to 46. So that's 12 minutes. Which might have to be okay. So everything else, that stuff should be just indoor botanicals. Yep. Yippers. I'll scoot this all closer. And this is 1 hour and 7 to 1 hour 21. So that's like 14 minutes. Yeah. No, I mean that will have to be okay, I guess. So that's kind of like the episode sections. Yep, that's it. So now we're going to organize the photos. Most of these are there's a straggler here. This one is out of place. This should go somewhere over here. Okay. So I'm just going to group them by location now. Well, no, I lied. I'm going to keep all fours together. So we're going to go up here. Do. These will go up there, even though this is more like a prairie. go from, this is kind of a lie, but we'll go from the forest shots to the indoor. Kind of put I'm gonna get rid of these because they're more flower than anything else. Okay. Move them over here. And I can't do that late of a stream. I have to get to bed. Not relatively soon, but I have to start winding down. So we'll just finish sorting them, and then that'll be the end. Okay, so these are flowers. So they will actually go with these ones somewhere. And then this episode's going to start with the indoor ones. It's kind of the opposite of what I said, but they're brighter, it's earlier in the day. And then we go to those, and then this forest and sunset. So that's done. I guess I can stay. I don't really like it. And this is also a lie, but it looks like it goes well together. And this is these are kind of done. It's just gonna go in chronological order of how it was shot. But this, the lily pads, they will have to go okay. So the fountains, they will go first. And then these ones, because the fountains are actually midday, this is morning. But you can see how, because it's morning, everything's more blue. That's how the color temperature works. And then because it's similar, we're gonna go to topiaries, and then from topiaries, even though I'm gonna change the coloring to make it look more bluer, less yellow, less warm. And then this is also like high noon, so that's why it's kind of white light. You know what? Yeah, I'm just gonna keep it that way. Here we go. And then sunset. And that's done. So we're halfway done. Now we go over here. We're gonna see how it's. So I'm gonna kind of keep it how it is, but the changes I'm gonna make is I'm gonna get all the organs together. Make sure I have all the organs. So I'm just gonna move it over there. And then for this one, we're gonna lie. We're going to take the exterior shots. I'm going to take this one, I'm going to get rid of that one because it's too blurry. So we're going to make this all look like one building like we did before. This one, and we're going to go this way. And we're going to go here, 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 do. Yeah, we're going to keep those three together. This is very similar to the order for the other episode. Okay, so that one's done. I'm going to separate them out a little bit more so they don't get confused. And then I'm going to alternate what layer each episode is on. So, last one. And then what I'll do is tomorrow when I do the creative stream, before the stream I'll set up these as individual projects. I'll split this project into 4 segments and then which are going to be their episodes and add everything they need. Getting tired. I've been staying up till like 4 and 3 in the morning and then waking up at 10 and 11 and it's like starting to catch up with me. So for this one, I think I'm just going to go in order of how I walked through. So this is the entrance. as that is. Yep, and that one goes last. You know what, we're going to take this one. We're going to get all the ones that look like. So we're going to put that one right here. It fits very nicely. Okay, so we're done essentially. Let me save it, and then we're just going to go through, and I'm going to remove all the spaces so I can get a kind of final glimpse into how long each I learned this new keyboard shortcut. It took me forever to learn how to do, but it turns out you just have to put the marker at the place you want the gap to be removed, and then it removes everything after that gap. I thought you had to like select clips or something. I got it to work once, but couldn't figure out how I did it. Then when I finally figured out, I was like, oh, I don't have to select anything. Okay. Then we're gonna squish them closer. So here are 4 episodes. So the first one is 12 minutes. The big one is 32, 20 minutes exactly. 33 to 43, that's 10 minutes. It's kind of short, but it's okay because it's all the same, similar. It's all categorized very similarly. So 44 to essentially 60. So 44, that's like 15 minutes. A little under 15 minutes. Okay, well, thanks for coming out. I'm gonna do a video game let's play rerun tomorrow. It's gonna be Mass Effect, starting in the morning, and then in the evening I'm going to do another creative stream where we're just going to be working on the 4K version. We'll do a little bit of setting up the other projects, but they're pretty much done. There's no animation layer or anything. There's no zooming or anything like that. We just have to fix the coloring, and so that will go by pretty fast. Hopefully I can get through all 4 of these episodes. And then once we do that, we'll work with the 4K and the 35mm photos. So thanks for coming in. This has been Thumbs United. I'm streaming for Flotations and LCD Productions. The links are in the chat if you want to check those out. They're also in my page description. So thanks for tuning in. I'll see everyone tomorrow evening, sometime between 9 or 11 p.m. Eastern Time. Bye-bye.